Hey, how you guys doing? I'm Mr. Nasty. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the top 5 cars to customize in the drifting category. So the top 5 drifting cars you guys can use when playing Grand Theft Auto. It's something quite a bit of people have been asking now that there's better drift mods for PC, or if you guys are on the console, you can drift with these vehicles as well. I made sure I chose some vehicles that are compatible with the consoles as well, so that way you guys that don't have a PC, you can still drift around with these vehicles and show me your creations if you decide to make a video. So if you guys want to show your support and help me out, all I ask is if you guys can help me by sharing this video with a friend or dropping a like, because one like does go a long way. And today's goal is actually going to be 600 likes or 60,000 subscribers, which I'm about to hit. And once I hit that, we'll be doing that controller giveaway announcement. If you guys want to check out that giveaway, I'll have that linked as well. And don't forget to subscribe if you are new. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and cut the crap and let's get right into the video. All right, everyone. So for the first vehicle we do have here, it is actually the Dominator, which is a great vehicle to use while drifting. Now, a lot of people don't really think this is a good drifting car or a vehicle to have to fully customize, but the Dominator right here, as you guys can see, is also the Ford Mustang. Is an absolute beast on the road. Now, if you guys are not sure about this vehicle, or you never purchased it, or you never drove it before, this thing is something that I highly recommend you guys get. The best thing about this car is that you guys can actually find it driving around the roads of Los Santos and just parking it in your garage. You don't really have to buy it from a website. So as you guys can see here, while we have it fully upgraded, this Ford Mustang or Dominator is an absolute freaking monster. It looks like the meanest vehicle you guys can find on the road, and it is also a muscle car in a way, I guess you can call it. It's a Mustang GT, I believe. So if you guys want to use it in races, fully upgrade it, and this vehicle will definitely dominate others. So for drifting, as you guys can tell right here from the little clip I put together, it can drift very nicely if you are a good drifter. But for me personally, I am a horrible drifter on my own. I usually have to have mods installed on the PC so that way I can drift properly. But from these clips right here, you guys can tell that this car does look nice when you guys are using it in drifting montages, which a lot of people don't because it's a very underrated car. Either way, I highly recommend you guys try this vehicle out, as you guys will not regret it. And let's go ahead and move on to the next vehicle. So for the next one we do have here, it is actually the Porsche. Now the Porsche in this game is called the Comet, of course, and a lot of people would also think, wait, this car isn't a drifting vehicle, it's more of a racing car. But believe it or not, the Comet can actually slide on some turns, get you guys some good drifting, unlike other very fast vehicles in the game. Of course, if you guys are a good drifter, you can definitely use any car you want. But for this top 5 video, I did want to add the Comet because it does have some nice upgrades already on it from stock. But unfortunately, if you guys do want to get this vehicle online, you'll actually need to purchase it from the website. But as you guys can tell right now, fully upgraded, the way I put it on a yellow and black scheme makes this vehicle look like an absolute beast. And it does have a few little upgrades you guys can add to it, but already the vehicle does look like an absolute monster, like I've already said previously. Now the Comet is pretty fast, of course, because it is a Porsche. You could definitely use this in races if you don't want to only use it for a drift car, and you always show it off at car shows or whatever you guys like to do when you play the game. To me, this is one of my favorite vehicles to use. As you guys can tell, it looks very nice. The handling is great, and if you guys know what you're doing, you could definitely put out some sick montages. As you guys can see here, I have a little tiny clipping of me trying to drift. But other than that, moving on to the Schafter, which is a 4-door vehicle you guys can use to have some friends inside of it if you want. And this Schafter is a remix of the Mercedes-Benz. There's a lot of different classes it's mixed together with, but overall it's just in the Mercedes-Benz category. As you guys can tell, it already comes with some nice rims. You guys can usually find these driving around in the city as well, like the Dominator. And where you guys may have seen this vehicle before was in GTA, the Battle to Get Tony. I believe it was Tony's car from the opening mission, so it's pretty nice to, you know, get a little flashback on what it's like. So here's the vehicle fully slammed down to the ground, which if you guys don't know, if you slam your vehicle, it'll help you actually drift a little bit better. And if you guys don't know how to slam your car, I'll be sure to let you guys know in a future video on how to make a drift car, which is something I thought about doing. So here for the Schafter, we did add a lot of customizations to it. We did keep the spoiler off the car, as sometimes the spoilers do cause a little bit more traction than what it normally should. But if you guys are using mods, it really does not matter what kind of spoiler you have on the vehicle. But from here, from the little drifting clip I took from the Rockstar editor, definitely looks sick, as you guys can tell right here. And I couldn't really find a nice color to use in the Schafter, but I believe some of you guys can come up with some sick customizations you guys can use to make these vehicles definitely look top notch. Now the price range of this vehicle, it's not really too expensive, as I believe you guys can find it driving around though, like I said previously. But from the website, I believe it is over $100,000, if not maybe under. But definitely a vehicle I do recommend. So for the next one we're going to be using here is actually the Sultan. Now a lot of people actually do have the Sultan. You may have heard of the Sultan. You may even use it daily when you play the game. It is a remix of the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. I cannot say the Mitsubishi, I just cannot, my tongue won't let me do it, so I apologize if it sounds weird, but this vehicle is also a returning car from Grand Theft Auto 4. You guys can find it behind the burned down mansion or whatever it was. It would spawn fully customized, but in the game it actually allows you to customize it, which is great. It make it look like the one from GTA 4, as you guys can see here, fully upgraded. This is my favorite color scheme to use on these type of vehicles, as yellow does stand out and the black definitely adds a nice perfect touch to the vehicle. The Sultan is also another great racing car to use, and for drifting it's kind of underrated, as a lot of people don't really know that it can drift, but just from looking at the outside, it has a nice racing stripes, has the Sultan RS painted on the side, has the hood scoop, and it is also slammed down to the ground. And I believe I did use the mods for this one, that's why the drifting does get a little bit better throughout the clips. But as you guys can tell right now, this thing is an absolute beast. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll in the little drifting clip I have provided for you guys. And before that, if you guys are wondering where you can purchase this vehicle, you can also find it in the streets of Los Santos, as you don't really need to buy it, but if you want to buy it, you can from the website. I am not 100% sure about that, but it's definitely a car you guys would like to use. Also, it is a 4-door, as you guys can also tell, which makes it great, so that way you guys can get some more friends in the vehicle and go rob some stores and do whatever you want with it. So as you guys can tell right here, some nice drifting clips from this, and some of you guys may not even need mods. If you're on the consoles, you can drift pretty easy just by using the e-brake and accelerating properly, as I was trying to do in the beginning of the clip, so I'm not really that good at it, but practice does make perfect. So as you guys can see here, speaking of vehicles, we have the Futo GT, which is going to be the #1 car on this list, as the Futo is basically made for drifting. As you guys can see, it's a remix of the Toyota AE86, which is a Japanese drift car, I believe, which is specifically made for drifting in a way. It's a very small, compact vehicle that you guys can use, and fully slammed to the ground, this thing looks absolutely sick. Fully upgraded again, I went with the yellow and black, so that way you guys can see all the details in the vehicle, and then the black rims add a nice touch to it when you have blacked out windows. And for this one, we did add the drift wing to the vehicle. The Futo is definitely the #1 vehicle you guys want to use when you are drifting in GTA 5, as you can never go wrong with a little Futo. The vehicle customizations this car does have is tremendous, as many options you guys can add. So if you guys want to go ahead and try it out, feel free to do so. I recommend you guys can get some very decent clips from drifting around in this vehicle. So let's go ahead and wrap this one up. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, or if you guys have any vehicles you would like to see in next video, be sure to let me know by dropping a comment as well, as tweeting at me at Nasty is live will feature your tweet in the video as well. Hopefully you guys do have a wonderful day. Again, your support is absolutely tremendous. I love you guys all. I'm Mr. Nasty, and I'm out.